Hi Adventurous Babes, Kim Basak here with you, one of the co-founders of Adventurous Babes Society and personal trainer. We're going to talk to you this morning about getting your core stronger. The core muscles are all the muscles in the trunk area, but we're going to focus today on the abdominal muscles and the erector spinae, which are the muscles that run down your spine. It's very important to remember if you work your front side or your abdominals, you need to work the back side as hard as you do the front. That creates balance around your spine. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you need to always remember is before you start any exercise program, you need to make sure you've talked to your doctor and he has approved the activity in which you want to do. All right, the first thing before doing an exercise itself for the abdominals or your back is you need to learn to breathe properly. If you see yourself in the mirror breathing, and I suggest that you watch yourself in the mirror, and you're lifting your shoulders or your chest is lifting like this, you are doing it incorrectly. You want to use your diaphragm. I suggest putting your hand on your diaphragm right in this area in your stomach, and you want it to, when you inhale, for it to expand. When you exhale, it comes in like this. That way you know you're doing it properly. The reason breathing is so important while you exercise is twofold. Your muscles have to have oxygen cells to perform, and to perform well. The second thing is it keeps your blood pressure from spiking while you're exercising. The first exercise, if you've not done any type of abdominal work, you always want to start with are what we call bracing. If you've ever been playing with a 2-year-old and you're on the floor, or you're sitting here like I am and a 2-year-old's running towards you as fast as they can, and you know they're going to just bolt right into you, the first thing you do is you brace, because you know they're going to hit you somewhere in the solar plexus or the abdominals. That's what bracing is. You should feel a very tight contraction from the top of the abdominals to the lower part of the abdominals, but especially right here in what we call the solar plexus. So you're going to sit tall or lie on the floor. It doesn't matter where your position is. You can even be standing, and you want to brace and relax. Brace as if that person's going to hit you or run into you, and relax. The important thing to remember is when you brace that you're not leaning forward. You're not bringing your shoulders forward to do that brace. Keep your posture nice and erect and brace, and also breathe. When you brace, you exhale. Inhale, brace, exhale. And so I'll demonstrate the wrong moves here. Here's leading with the head. Here's forward flexing, nose to knees, and getting the hip flexors involved. They tilt their pelvis toward their head, and they're almost making this little cup with their body. So to do it correctly, as I said, nose to ceiling. Make sure that you do your brace here. You're going to keep your hip flexors out by moving your feet away from your body just a little bit. And make sure that pelvis is not shifting forward or up toward the ceiling. The other thing I want to make sure you do is keep that lordotic position of the back. You will hear people say, sometimes you've gone to class where they tell you to press your back into the floor. That is incorrect. That can cause bulging discs. And you see, as soon as I do that, what happens to my pelvis? It's immediately tilted and it stays there. So you're going to shorten the hip flexors, which is what you do not want to do. So, to demonstrate correctly, nose to ceiling, shoulder blades come off the floor, but as you see, I am not folding forward. I am not pressing my low back into the floor, and I'm not shifting my pelvis toward my head. And I'm getting a very strong contraction. So I inhale, exhale, brace, lift. Inhale, exhale, brace, and crunch. Okay? So, when you can do this for a minute, you're ready to move on to the next step. You've got that same motion, but it's more difficult because off of the floor and on the ball, you've got more of your body weight that you are now lifting. This is easier. This is more difficult. And you see, I'm not laying myself over the ball when I come down. I'm staying in a contracted state and lift. Nose to ceiling, hip flexors are out of it. Very, very safe, but very, very effective. So once you can complete the bracing and hold that for a full minute, You're ready to go to your floor crunches as I demonstrated. You can take it to the ball at that point after doing a minute on the floor. And then the fourth stage, or another exercise to make it another step more difficult, is you're going to add the feet being up. You can either bend them here, they can be straight up, it doesn't matter. But again, you do not lead with the head. You lead with the shoulders away from the floor, and you barely lift your hips. Okay? So it's not a popping. It's not like you're trying to get everything off the floor. That would be incorrect. You're going to lift, and like you're trying to tap the ceiling with your toes, and relax. Tap and relax. So all you're doing is adding the legs, which gives it a little bit more intense workout for those abdominals. And that's abdominals.